time, then Larry had a lamp. And right now on Comics Covered, we're going to turn it on. Because this is Comics Covered for the week of October 17th, 2018, episode 47. But what happened to episode 46? We wonder, we ponder. No, I just...
It happened.
It happened. It happened.
So, a little bit of insider knowledge before I go back to just yet another Mary Had a Little Lamb thing that we opened the show with.
What?
Last week, Jack and Samantha co-hosted the show while I was gone, and Jack referred to the episode as episode 46.
Wait, I thought I got it wrong.
Edited it out. Or no, sorry, episode 45.
See?
You referred to it as the episode before that. Whatever it was. This one's episode 47.
We had a crisis. There's continuity happening right here that we're changing around, so
But anyways,
I like the idea
worry.
of calling every single episode that you miss or that I miss a crisis event.
With my name in it.
Somehow. So the next one would be like Infinite Dougs.
Infinite Doug. Well, we already had Crisis on Infinite.
That's true. So I think it'd be like Infinity Doug. It's too close.
It's I Doug Diddy Crisis.
No, the last one was Doug's Identity Crisis. Last episode.
Oh, that's right. We did do an Identity Crisis.
Doug. In any case, here on Comics Covered, we talk about comic books and the world around them. What if we actually talked about like politics and stuff having nothing to do with comics? You know what I mean? It's still a world around comics.
It is. We could do that. We're not going to.
Okay. But we talk about the comics industry, the movies and the TV and the games. We'll also talk spoilers and we'll warn you about them. I'm Jack and I'm just wild and crazy. I'm reading a lot of comics, but I'm still pretty new to them. And I'm here with my co-host Doug, and he knows something I don't know about comics.
I am Doug, and I am the closest thing we have to an experienced comic book reader here. I am more experienced than Jack.
Yes,
but I know something that Jack doesn't know, and that is who the character is. I have,
and I will
in this special tab I have on our rundown.
I will click on it.
Hold that up.
Doug, you seem a little worn out. You've had a busy week.
I am incredibly worn out. I have had a very busy week. We had home opener for the Timberwolves this week.
The Minnesota Timberwolves.
Yes, and so I've been crunching for about 2 weeks straight, which is why I wasn't able to be on the show last week.
Please.
Yesterday and today have been kind of the first moments I can just kind of stop and breathe and not be in the office anymore.
That's good.
We had a Halloween party last night, so I am also hungover.
Hey, okay, we'll talk a little bit more about what your poison was yesterday. That'll be great. Okay, so let's see. I'm clicking on the image. I hide my desktop toolbars. Oh. Wow.
Yep. So I picked this image because I feel like it kind of gives you the whole thing, and I'd like you to just kind of talk
Holy
through,
shit.
kind of on your mental journey as you kind of figure out what this man's deal is, because it's kind of all there for you.
I mean, actually, I think I just said it. Holy shit. Okay, so damn, I like this entire idea for a character.
Okay. Can you explain what you're seeing?
I'm seeing a lot of holes on a gentleman. Portals. Okay, so this gentleman's body is full of portals, and he uses these portals in combat, seemingly. He looks like he can both manifest portals, and on his body, he has portals through which he can take hits. But then, it's like an I'm rubber, you're glue sort of thing with him. They just come back to the person. So I'm looking at Spider-Man up against this fella, and he's punching into the center hole, and the punch is coming back to him at his head through the other guy's head. And also, the guy's arm, it must be both arms.
Yeah, it must be both arms. You can't see the other one.
Yeah. Or he's going, because I thought he could manifest arms at some point, too, before I saw that part. is going through a back portal, which I guess he manifested because that's not part of his body, and he's punching him as well. So, damn, that is a lot going on in that man.
Can you guess what this man's name is?
Portal Man? Or just Portal?
He is the Spot.
The Spot. That is too good. That's actually really good. I like that. The Spot. Yeah. Okay. My guess is he can move these spots wherever he wants on his body?
He can, yes. Also, those other portals are spots from his body that he peeled off like a cartoon character.
Oh my god. This is great!
It's very good.
Where is this? Is this usually a Spider-Man villain? Or is this like...
He's a Spider-Man or Daredevil villain, kind of generally.
Okay.
But, he's just kind of a Marvel villain character.
Daredevil?
He's a lot of fun.
How does Daredevil even... I feel like he wouldn't be able to hear where the spots come up, or like where they can be behind him and stuff. That'd really fuck with him, right?
It's really cool, because, he can't see... The spots, like, read as holes to him in a weird way. I don't remember exactly how he did it, but in Mark Waid and I don't think Chris Samney was on it yet at the point I'm thinking of.
Mark Waid did a lot of Daredevil without Chris Samney, I've learned.
It was various artists. I don't remember who was... They were all really good.
Yeah.
Paulo Rivera was on with him for a while, and then... Marcos Martin was on it. You read some stuff with Marcos Martin, right?
Yes, I believe so. Something.
Anyways. Oh, Barrier.
Ah, yes.
Anyways, in Mark Waid's Daredevil run, he fights the Spot, and he sees him with, like, his echolocation, and it's funky looking.
Okay, I'm so excited to read that Daredevil run. And this makes me even more excited, because this is one of my favorite characters that you've come up with, because this is really, really cool. I like this whole idea. This
one's a fun mix of, like, it's really goofy and strange, but also it's just, like, a genuinely clever, fun character.
Yeah.
Like, he's actually, like, he's stupid, but also, like...
It's a stupid character?
A really good idea. I just mean, like, I don't know. It's silly. But
you don't... I thought you were talking about, like, a trait of the character is that he's stupid.
He's just real dumb.
The dumb guy. That wouldn't be good for this kind of thing, because you'd have to be smart to, like, coordinate all these things. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Wow, it is a confusing picture to parse if you're not, like, thinking in terms of comics, I feel like. I don't think this character is ever going to appear in the Marvel Universe.
In the movies, you mean?
Or even the TV shows. Maybe the TV shows.
Oh, God.
In, like, a weird, like, low-key way.
A low-key way?
Too funny. Now watch, I'm saying this, and he just appeared in, like, Daredevil Season 3 or something.
Yeah.
What if he is? You never know. Okay, well, what have you read this character in?
Random appearances and stuff. I've read the first, like, big chunk of Mark Waid's Daredevil. I've never gone back and finished it. So I read him in there, and then some stuff in Spider-Man. He's never a huge character.
Yeah.
He's just kind of like, he'll either be a one-off issue, or he'll be like a fight in an issue, or he'll be a character in a fight, or a background gag or something, you know. He's just kind of like, people like his look and his powers, and they play around with it, but he's not really like a super fascinating character.
Okay.
So people just kind of throw him in because they want to, like, show him using his goofy powers.
Yeah. So wait, what is the stuff behind his character? Like, what is this guy? Is he just a random dude that fell into some vat?
He got teleported to a place accidentally called Spot World.
Oh.
And it is a dimension.
Okay.
And when he returned, he turned into this weird creature.
Oh.
He's still just him, but he's like this weird all white dude with spots all over him that are portals.
Huh. Okay, well, yeah. What was this a thing? Was this Silver Age kind of stuff?
This newer? Let's see.
I could see it being newer.
I am loading what page this is. 84.
84. Okay, that makes sense. Yes. Whenever it's a crazy character, it's either 80s or Silver Age.
Mm-hmm.
Am I right or no?
Yeah. They tend to be Silver Age. I feel like the really crazy ones.
Yeah.
But there's some pretty crazy stuff in the 80s as well. They start to get a bit more self-serious in the 80s in a way that kind of puts a damper on the amount of silly characters. But
yeah. I'll bet you Grant Morrison could do Love to the Spot somehow.
He could do love to him?
Do love to him. Give him some love. Give him, some more character traits that make him feel like he has holes in his personality or something like that. I don't know. There could be stuff done with this character, but people just won't give him a shot, We need to give Spot love.
I assume someone has, done a cool story with the Spot that actually digs into his character.
Oh my god, Doug, I just thought of the best concept for a solo Spot series.
Uh-huh. Mm-hmm. What?
The Spot is dealing with his crippling sex addiction.
What the Jesus
Just
Christ.
Imagine how sex addiction could apply itself to this character.
Oh my god.
Isn't that amazing?
This guy, I don't think anything is going to do it for this guy other than a full-on orgy.
Well, yeah.
I don't think, yeah. But also, you can't use, they're portals. It's just going to come out one of the other ones.
Isn't that what always happens?
Oh boy. I feel like he's maybe more like the intermediary in
maybe that's it. Maybe he's addicted to watching, and other people use his spots.
Yep. He is the glory hole. That's his book.
That's a great alter ego.
Oh boy.
I'm the Spot, but in my secret time I am the glory hole. That'd be awesome. I would read the shit out of that.
I would not.
Oh, come on.
I would like to move on from this. I did find an image of the Spot in that Daredevil. I think it's just an issue, but he looks real funky. Because Daredevil sees him with his radar vision.
Yeah.
But the spots actually read as you can see through them, but you see the 3D shape of them cutting through his body all over, and it looks terrifying and trippy.
Wow. Jesus. So is there in Daredevil comics, because I've literally never read one yet, do they visualize the way he sees the world a lot in very different ways?
I think depending on the artist, they do it in different ways, but it's generally he sees weird radar lines on stuff, or at least that's how it was in some of the Wade stuff that I read.
Have you noticed a certain artist is the coolest way to visualize his site, or no?
I think this one I'm looking at, I think it's Marcos Martin, and I think that one was maybe it's.
Okay.
Sometimes all those artists that work with Mark Waid on Daredevil are all very good, but they have fairly similar kind of styles.
Interesting.
And so sometimes it's kind of hard to tell. I guess I could definitely spot a Samney page, but
Samney's
Rivera and Marcos Martin can sometimes be a little hard for me to tell apart.
Okay.
Both amazing. But anyways.
Well, Doug, tell us about your Halloween party. How was it? What'd you drink?
Let's see. What did I drink? I drank a few different things. We had cider and cinnamon whiskey.
Oh, you made it?
We had it out for people to make drinks with.
Okay.
And then we had an apple cider sangria.
Ooh, that sounds good.
That we made. And
did you marinate it for the days before and stuff like that?
What?
With sangria, a lot of times you'll have the stuff in fruit, or the fruit in the liquid you're going to use, and have it marinated for a few days beforehand.
We were putting this whole thing together very last minute, the whole party.
Okay.
So no, it didn't sit out for days, but it had a bunch of apples in it.
Oh, nice.
Just throw a few whole apples.
Through whole apples, yeah.
There.
That's what I was imagining.
Yep. But, and then, I don't know, beer. But, It was a good time. Me and my girlfriend went as Cosmo and Wanda from the Fairly Odd Parents.
Wait, I thought you were throwing the party.
We were throwing the party.
Then you didn't go to the party.
Okay, but we dressed up. I don't know, how do you phrase that?
We dressed up for our party as Wanda.
You still say even if you're hosting it, if you're saying what costume I went as, you know.
No, I feel like you say I was.
I stayed as Cosmo and Wanda.
Because you didn't go, you didn't went anywhere.
Fine.
Yeah, but that's cool, Cosmo and Wanda. That's awesome. I haven't seen that show in forever.
That is I am happy with our costumes we ended up with.
Are there pictures on Facebook?
It was the only thing that we could agree on.
Oh.
But it was fun.
Pictures? Are we sharing them on Twitter?
I don't think I have pictures. I have not put any of them on social media yet.
Let's put one on Twitter. Come on, what's the harm? The people demand it, Doug.
I don't know if they are. Anyways, it was a good time.
Very good.
We played some board games. We drank. We hung out. Yeah.
How many people? Under 10? Over 10?
There was like 15 people there.
Hey!
Like it wasn't like a huge rager or anything. But it was fun.
Okay, very good. And why wasn't I invited?
That is because you are on the other side of the country.
Okay, just wanted to lay that out.
Yeah.
Okay, well, Doug, thank you for your service as our comics veteran. I just wanted to preface my story with that.
Nope.
Okay. In any case, this is actually a story about firefighters. That's exactly what I wrote in the rundown. Okay, so my week consists of this one story, and I was wondering about it, and I wanted to ask you.
Okay.
So there's this Mexican restaurant that's right by our house, and I was walking there to pick up our to-go order, and when I got there, there were like 20 firefighters there. 2 fire trucks had pulled up, and there were 20 firefighters there just eating dinner. Like over 20 maybe. I don't even know. And I was thinking to myself, like, do you say thank you for your service to firefighters if they're all in one place like that? Or do you not? Like, because I was really confused and I felt really weird. Like, I didn't do it, but is that bad of me if I don't do it? Because, like, I don't know.
Is that a thing that you say to... I thought that was just for... Boy, I really don't want to get that down this rabbit hole.
No,
I
but
thought that was just for military...
Well, of course, with military people, yes. If there were like a bunch of military people in there, I would do it. But I don't know if that's the same thing for like police officers or for firefighters.
I don't think it is.
But I don't know. You know what I mean? There's that like uncomfortable feeling that like, oh, maybe I should.
But it's not. I don't know.
I know, right?
I'm not going to take a stance on this in any direction.
Okay. I just was really scared because I was also, I felt uncomfortable for other reasons too, as I was walking there and ... Mexican food.
Oh boy.
What? It's California. It's legal. But yeah.
Oh, I thought you meant something else.
Oh, what? Like
I
was doing heroin or something?
No, you said you made that. I thought you were talking about what you were talking about, and then you said something on Mexican food, and then I was like, "Oh, were you just like having the runs or something?"
Oh,
I was very confused.
Sorry. What are the runs?
You got to run to the toilet a lot.
Oh,
you've never heard anyone call it the runs?
No, it's called diarrhea, right?
Well, yes, but. As a euphemism, people call it the runs.
Like it's running down your leg?
No, like you have to keep running out of the room to go to the bathroom.
Okay, if anyone ever says that to me, I'm going to respond, no, diarrhea is not running down my leg. But I should go to the bathroom.
Jack.
Okay.
Let's move on.
Okay. So we didn't have a lot of news this week. Nothing really happened. One big thing was that Daredevil dropped 2 generally good reviews. I have not watched, but I'm in the middle of the second season with Samantha, who is watching the second season for the first time. Mm-hmm. So we're like in the court proceedings of Frank Castle with Spoilers for season 2 of Daredevil, I guess.
Okay.
Sorry. I don't know if I should do that. Like, it's been a while, you know? Whatever.
Go right ahead.
So, we're in those, like, court proceedings with Frank Castle, which is, like, episode 8 or something. I didn't realize how much is actually with Frank Castle in the beginning. And, because, like, I don't really like the stuff that's not with Frank Castle near the end. So, I was surprised that there's actually a lot more than I
mean, the first half of that season is all
It's more than half.
Frank Castle.
I'm on episode 8, and it's still Frank Castle. 8 of 13.
Yeah, I really wish they had stuck with that to the end, because that stuff is so much stronger than the stuff they do in, like, the last third of that season.
Yeah. Like, Elektra, I like Elektra. I just don't like her as much as Frank Castle.
Yeah, also, they don't really go anywhere all that great with her.
Yeah. Well, Doug, they're saving it for Defenders.
They did Defenders, and it, let me tell you, wasn't great.
Can you, like, okay, by the way, while we're talking about this, can you just, like, give me and the folks at home, just, like, if they don't want to watch Defenders, or if they have, I don't know, what happened with him to set us up for Daredevil? Like, just...
With Daredevil?
Yeah, for Daredevil Season 3, what happened to him?
So, major spoilers for Defenders.
The Defenders, yes.
And I guess some of Daredevil Season 2. But, so Elektra got killed.
Yeah.
And then resurrected as the Black Sky.
Oh.
And so she was used as this weapon of the Hand, run by Sigourney Weaver.
Mm-hmm.
They wanted to use her as this weapon to take Kunlun, the mystical city that Iron Fist gets his powers from.
Oh, okay. So she's just supposed to be a badass that, like, beat everybody up or something, or?
She's like a weird, like, zombie ninja for them, where she, like, is mindless and they control her, but she's, like, slowly gets her memories back, and then they have a big showdown in a skyscraper, and they bring down, they blow up the skyscraper, or, like, collapse it, I guess, on top of everyone gets out except Elektra won't leave, and Daredevil stays to try to get her to come with, or something, or he beats her or something, like fights her,
he beats her.
Jesus. Anyways, I don't remember the exact circumstances. But anyway, for whatever reason, they both end up in the tower when it comes down, and theoretically are both dead, but they reveal at the very end, oh no, Daredevil's not dead. He's woken up in a, like, I'm not entirely sure, because they don't, like, give you the whole context, but he wakes up surrounded by nuns, basically.
Okay. So why is he all emo in these trailers for Season 3?
I assume he's, like, upset by the loss of Elektra or something. I don't know. He's, like, going back to his, like, he wants to be less of a symbol and more of just, like,
Punisher.
Yeah. Which I hope it's just an arc. I really hope he goes back to, like, it felt like we earned that that costume.
I know.
I honestly love his, like, black suit stripped down look from the first season, but it also, like, we did that and, like, we built up to him being Daredevil, you know?
My guess is they saw people, like, not liking the second season as much. They're like, oh, we should do as much about the first season as possible.
Yeah. I don't know. I do really, there was something about it, but also, like, it feels like we've evolved beyond that. Like, part of why I think it works really well with the first season is because, like, that whole first season is, like, kind of him not being amazing at it.
Yeah.
You know?
Definitely.
Where, like, he's, like, when he gets in a fight, it's a fucking struggle.
Definitely.
And, like, yeah, he's kind of a ninja, but, like, he's still a dude, you know? And that's kind of why the, like, more stripped down look really worked. But then once we get to the second season, he's just taking out crowds of people.
Yeah.
And it doesn't really make sense to scale back from that. Like, what is he, like, they're going to have to keep him with the same level of, like, prowess.
Yeah.
He's just going to look more like a schlub again, which seems like an odd move.
I don't know, man. I mean, we'll just have to see. I'm gonna hopefully start watching right after we finish the second season, so we'll see when that is. Cool. Also, the other exciting thing was solicitations came out. We're not going to do what we used to do, which is go through all of them, but I found a couple interesting things in there.
Sure.
Like, they solicited Guardians of the Galaxy, but we know we're doing that.
Yep.
I was interested. Have you ever heard of the writer Soska?
I've heard the name.
They're doing a Black Widow series where Black Widow is like, I guess, like, fed up with government and shit again. I mean, it's probably treading some same water, but I like Black Widow a lot, and I might look at the art. The art looked interesting.
Okay.
At least.
Cool.
So I thought that was cool.
Yeah.
We got the solicit for Invaders by Chip Zdarsky, which I'm so pumped for.
Yeah, I'm excited.
And I think those covers are done by Eben Sibic. Eden?
I don't know.
I forgot. But I want more art from that motherfucker.
What did he do?
Sibic? The guy that does the art for Secret Wars?
Saying? Oh, Isad Ribic?
Oh, that's it. Yeah. That guy.
Ribic? I don't know how to say his name, but
Ribic. It's like a frog.
Yep, exactly.
What is it with me and making fun of artists' names? I'm sorry. It's not good.
Yeah. So, yeah, I love Isad Ribic.
Yeah. But, what is it? Marv Wolfman is also putting out a $10 Superman 100-page spectacular.
Is that not one of the, like, Walmart ones?
Oh, that could be it.
Is it? Not? It could not be. I don't know.
It might not be. I just saw it on the solicit and it was like the Superman 100-page spectacular. I don't know. He said it was a completely new story that he was really proud of. Maybe it is, though. I thought the Walmart things weren't news stories.
They include news stories.
Oh. But I think this is a fully, like, 100 pages of news story.
Not sure. Let me look it up.
Okay. The other thing I've written down is Criminal by Brubaker and Phillips, which I want to read the original. I guess
I do too.
It's originally a graphic novel, and this is the ongoing series building on that, I guess?
No, I think it was, it's a kind of a long ongoing series, I feel. I'm pretty sure.
Okay. They said this is a great jumping on point, but, you know, Brubaker and Phillips, I might as well just read the good stuff from them.
Yeah.
Because they're...
oh, yeah, it says now this article from Bleeding Cool says, now Marv Wolfman gives comics retailers their own 100-page Superman.
Oh, so it is different.
So I assume, this is probably, won't be in Walmart.
Okay. Well, I don't know. I was thinking
I was very curious what retailers thought about that, and I was in my comic shop recently, and I came up, and they seemed mighty tiffed about that whole deal.
Makes sense.
But
it's such a cool, like, environment to work within. Like, I mean, just the whole, like, way that industry works is just really crazy.
Yeah. It's kind of nuts.
They really should make, like, some documentary about, like, how everything in there works, especially now that they're getting more popular in movies. I feel like that'd be a great thing for someone to put money into.
Yeah.
Cool. Okay, well, Doug, we read weekly comics. You had a hard time. But before we get into our weekly comics, I want to talk about a really new issue that came out.
Yep.
DC Rebirth.
Very new. DC Universe Rebirth.
DC Universe Rebirth. Sorry.
Yes.
Doing the thing. So, Doug, do you have an image of the cover or the issue up?
I do.
Okay.
Yes.
I just noticed this because my girlfriend Samantha has been reading Watchmen, and then I told her that she should read Rebirth in the middle because she gets the setup for Doomsday Clock in it. Which is crazy, by the way, because this came out in 2015, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's been...
nuts.
It was a long wait.
So speaking of that long wait, Doug, tell me everything that you know about this cover.
Like, in terms of what's
before I talk about what I noticed, I want you to tell me if this was a thing that everyone already knows, basically. So tell me everything you know about this cover.
Are you talking about the fact that the hand on the cover, the hand is Dr. Manhattan?
Yes.
Yeah.
I never noticed that before. I noticed this as I was looking at it. I didn't even notice there was a hand there. I noticed there was
it's a thing that, like, before reading this issue, there's no reason why you would, like, think that. Because, like, how would that be a thing, you know?
Yeah.
It just looks like a weird, you know, like, reaching to God or whatever kind of thing. Or some other omnipotent DC character. But, yeah, once you read the end of this issue, I feel like it's pretty... If you look back at it, like, it's pretty obvious.
No, I know, but I didn't even know there was a hand there. Like,
oh, did you not ever see that?
I think when I was reading it, I didn't really pay attention. I just glanced at the cover. I read this before I read, like, hardly anything. Yeah. You lent this to me or something, and I just read it. It was cool, but I just, like, I didn't know. I want to reread it, but I just never knew there was a hand there, so I was just looking at it. I was like, oh, there's a hand there. Huh, there's blue lightning. Huh, this sets up Doomsday Clock. Holy shit, that's Dr. Manhattan.
Yeah. Yeah, this idea that he, like, changed the DC universe, and that also he's, like, kind of playing God, and they're all kind of reaching out. Superman's, like, touching the tip of his finger almost.
Yeah.
You know?
Also,
what is that? What is the name of that painting?
David. Seed of Abraham, isn't it?
Is that the name of the painting? It turns out, as I said that, I realized I didn't actually know the name of the painting. I just know it's Dave. Isn't it David and not David?
It's not David. It's like I gotta look this up now. I'm sorry. I think it's the Seed of Abraham or Seed of Life or something like that.
Anyways,
but yeah. Also, it looks particularly like the way Superman's body is in the last image of Dr. Spoilers for Doomsday Clock, the last issue that came out.
Yep.
Dr. Manhattan
where he's like,
views Superman coming over in to punch him, and it looks like this. Just saying.
A little bit, yeah. He's like rearing back a little bit. Like, you could read it in that way, sure.
I mean, I doubt they planned the art that much in advance, but I mean, who knows? God damn it, I can't find the name of this fucking painting. Painting. Should I put in Arrested Development parody? Because that's what they parody, isn't it?
It is.
God and... fuck this. I'm not going to do it. Sorry.
Adam?
Ooh, that could be Seed of Adam.
It's the Creation of Adam.
Creation of Adam.
Painting.
I think that's it. We're going to go with that.
That is the name of the painting.
Oh, you got it. Good job.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, okay, I'm glad. See, that's why I asked you to say everything first, because I wasn't sure if this was like a thing. I didn't know.
You would have felt very silly if you had been wrong.
I feel silly right now, but not as silly.
I figured that's what you just noticed about it.
Yeah.
Just because we're in the thick of Doomsday Clock right now. But,
super pumped. Yep. But yeah, all the blue lightning and shit makes sense. So, cool.
Yep.
Cool. I never realized, like, how much it really does set up Doomsday Clock. Like, Johnny Thunder stuff, all the stuff at the end. Mm-hmm. There's even more stuff with the every second a gift watch at the end too, and everything. Yep. Like, it's on Mars, and it's crazy that was 3 years ago.
Yeah, it was not supposed to be 3 years.
Wait, it was delayed more, like, before it even started?
Well, no, I just mean, like, originally, it was not supposed to be as long of a wait, you know, to start Doomsday Clock.
Huh. Well, I'm glad it was.
That's why
so I could do it.
Anyways.
Okay.
Cool.
Well, Doug, what did we read this week?
We both read a number of books. We've got Black Hammer, Age of Doom, number 6, Cemetery Beach, number 2, Cover, number 2, Gideon Falls, number 7, Justic League.
Oh, shit.
Number 10. Haha, gotcha.
It should be the Rustic League. Is that actually a thing? That should be a thing.
You know, someone on DeviantArt has made an image of that somewhere. Justice League Dark / Wonder Woman The Witching Hour, number 4. That's actually not... This one's just Justice League Dark. Because it's Justice League Dark number 4.
Oh, okay. Sorry, you're right.
Because it started with, I believe...
Wonder Woman.
I might be getting this backward. Was it Wonder Woman Justice League Dark?
Yeah,
they're doing that weird Milk Wars thing they started doing where it's like Wonder Woman Justice League Dark #1 at the beginning, and then as the end issue, it's Justice League Dark Wonder Woman #1.
It's ridiculous.
It's so they can have 2 #1s, and it's stupid. It doesn't make any sense why you would do it that way, because it's not like you could pick up that other #1 and it's a new story.
Yeah.
Ugh. Anyways.
It's part of the same marketing thing that confused me about picking up this Mike Mignola issue. That is, I picked up Joe Golem, Occult Detective, #1 of 5, but it's the 3rd fucking trade or volume of it, so...
Is it like, super...
This is the 11th issue of this character.
Okay, but like, it's not like super... I thought was under the impression that it was kind of more, not anthology, but like, each story was a bit more standalone, but I don't know.
I mean, I don't know, but I mean, I feel like I'd rather just do it just in case there's like character overlap, you know?
Yeah, that's
like,
usually
I'd rather
how I am.
read Hillbilly from the beginning, even though it's standalone, you know?
Yeah. Anyways, we also had Venom Annual and 1975 #2, aka MCM LXXV.
I have it memorized now. I'm gonna do it.
MCM LXXV. Nope, I thought I could do it really quick, and then turns out I can't fucking talk.
Just say MCM Alexis V.
MCM Alexis V.
Yes.
A Lexus.
Alexis, yes, not the name, the car. Yes, that's good. And then I alone picked up Life of Captain Marvel #4, which, I don't know if you heard, Doug, includes a big change to Captain Marvel's origin.
Oh, interesting.
Which people
doing
are...
some retconning? Or just revealing
not really
some
retconning.
stuff?
What?
So more of a reveal about her origin?
More of a reveal, and people are thinking that since this is so close to the front of the movie, that this is the reason, this is what they're going to use.
That's interesting.
Yeah, it's really, I really like it. It's great.
Okay.
But in any case, what'd you read, Doug?
I haven't read these yet because I'm behind, but I also picked up Batman #57 and Pearl #3.
I dropped Pearl, everyone, just so you know.
Anyways, spoiler warning.
Yes.
We're going to talk specifics about these books.
First introductory discussion, Doug. Can you tell me what your opinion is on what they're doing with Dick Grayson? Because I was listening to a different podcast, and they were talking about Nightwing and stuff like that, and it seems interesting to me. I just wanted to know, like, what you thought about it.
So, yeah, spoilers for both the current run of Batman and Nightwing series. More so for Batman because it happened in that, but they're doing some stuff with it in Nightwing currently.
Yeah.
So Nightwing, Dick Grayson got sniped in the head. So yeah, literally shot in the brain.
Which, by the way, if you get shot in the head by a sniper rifle, usually JFK happens to you. Just saying.
Jesus.
No, I'm serious. They're huge bullets.
Yeah. Well, anyways, so yeah, he lived, surprisingly. But apparently in the current Nightwing book, he is like, his personality is changed or something.
Yeah.
Which is really fucking weird.
It seems like he's going by Rick, I guess.
Which is apparently a thing that Dan Di-D-D-Dio, one of the editors at DC, has been trying to make happen for a long time because he doesn't want people to call him Dick.
Oh. That's
which
weird.
Is stupid, but...
By the way, whenever I hear Dan Di-Dio's name, I always think of like what is it, like a DJ going like, drop the bass, dan, dan. You know what I mean? Dan Di-Dio.
Like, yeah, this is a schlocky radio program.
Yeah.
And they're like remixing his name. Dio.
Seriously? What is it?
Mm-hmm.
Who, I wonder what kind of name that is.
It's one. It's a name.
Okay.
Anyways, yeah, so I'm not reading Nightwing.
Yeah.
Anymore, but, yeah, I apparently, yeah, they're using the fact that, like, he got sniped like that's a thing that happened, and like he's having to deal with the fallout from that.
Like, is that something that interests you?
Fascinating.
Yeah, fascinating. Sorry.
It is. I'm very curious, but also I'm so off the like Nightwing train, like story wise, what's happening in that book.
Okay.
That I'm like, I don't know that I can pick it up, but maybe I could if they're like, if this is kind of the new driving force. I'd like if it's kind of a new thing, maybe I could jump on that, but I don't know.
Okay.
But it is very interesting what they're doing with it in Batman, at least. I mean, he's just, I think, kind of in the current continuity of the book, I think his fate is still kind of up in the air after he got shot, and Batman's kind of just, like, out for revenge.
Okay.
Which is super fucking sad, because the whole, like, setup for that whole bit of trauma for both of them was like, so again, yeah, spoilers for Batman. He's like dealing with like getting Selena Kyle leaving him at the altar, and the whole previous arc leading up to this was like Dick, like delving into Dick and Bruce's relationship, and like why Dick is like the thing that like keeps him together. You know, like, and how he's like the like one person in his life who's like this constant positive force who like makes him like see the silver lining on everything.
Oh, jeez.
And then he got sniped.
That's just terrible. Wow.
And now, yeah, Batman's in a bad place.
What,
again,
was it like Deadshot or something that sniped him, or?
No. Oh, damn. I didn't know. I didn't realize this was going to come up. I should have used this character. But, no, I'll just tell you. It's a character called the KG Beast.
Oh, wait, yes, I've heard of this character. Yes.
Yep. KG Beast.
Wait, is he a sniper? I always imagine he's a big hulking dude.
He is, but he used a gun in this. You know, he's just like, he's like a hitman.
Okay.
The KG Beast.
Okay. I did hear a spoiler about something with KG Beast in this issue, so I won't tell you.
Okay.
Something happens, though.
Yeah, no, I know. That's kind of Batman's out for revenge on the KG Beast. So, yeah, and again, I have not read it, so
I don't think you're gonna like it. I don't know. We'll see.
Huh. Okay. We'll see.
But in any case, my other introductory discussion point is, can you just tell me what an annual is and why they are a thing?
So annuals, kind of what they are, has like in terms of what the actual content of the story within them has changed a lot of like many different times and shifted kind of over time since their kind of start. They used to be, the idea was like, this is a special for the character in which like an important thing is going to happen to them. Like this is an unmissable issue for this character or whatever, you know?
Holy shit, that's totally different.
It's very different. They don't really do that anymore.
When did they phase that out?
I think because they wanted to keep it all within the main series.
When?
Or when? I don't know. It's not like a thing that they just like stopped doing it at like on a specific year or something. They just like, I don't know, it slowly stopped being done. So nowadays, so it's an annual, like it says, is it's a like a one-off special that comes out once a year. So, but they are like numbered by volume. So like, Batman, for example, had an annual, and the next year it had an annual number 2. But like it's a different, it's tied to the current like series.
Yeah.
So we'll like if Venom keeps going, we'll have a Venom annual number 2 next year. But anyways, but they're kind of more tied to the regular series than they are like if you can't like pick up each annual without the regular series and get some sort of overarching story. Anyways, yeah, nowadays an annual is just like, it's just a random special, and they vary wildly, honestly, what they actually are. Sometimes it's just like, lately it's been a lot of flashback stories, I feel like
collections of anecdotes and stuff like that.
Yeah, kind of just like here, like especially at Marvel, It's just kind of, lately, it's just been like, here's a story of Captain America and Bucky in World War II as the Captain America annual, you know?
Yeah.
But they're just kind of standalone stories generally nowadays.
Well, I noticed that with Donny Cates, the 2 annuals I've read, like, recently are Venom, this Venom one, and Thanos, which both of them are great, and they were both kind of the same, like, sort of, they were a collection of past anecdotes, stories with an overarching small, like someone's telling the story overall, or like
kind of
a bunch of people in this one
around it. Yeah.
What?
Kind of like a wrapper or some sort of, kind of like presentation device.
Yes, but the other annual I remember reading was in Scott Snyder's Batman, the Mr. Freeze one. That was a completely just an annual was just a bigger issue, and it was all the one story with Mr. Freeze. So that was just completely different. So I was so that's like also can happen.
Yeah, it's just nowadays it's just kind of an annual is just like an extra story with the character that's generally like it doesn't have to have a tie into the current story. Sometimes it does, but it's generally like here's a one-off issue about this character that that just kind of like isn't tied into the main story necessarily super strongly. Okay. I don't know. It's just a way for them to get people to buy more books. Yeah. Honestly.
Okay.
Then sometimes there's good stuff in them, but like I would rarely go into an annual thinking you're going to get some sort of like important additive component to like the current story. Sometimes you can get some interesting context or something on a character or an event, but like,
well, even if they're not additive to the current series, they can still be like amazing stories, which in the Thanos one, that was like one of my favorite issues.
Oh, that was great.
Last year. Oh my god!
But and had basically nothing to do with the regular Thanos series, but
not at all.
Like pretty cool. Also, I also love that Mr. Freeze Batman one.
Oh yeah, that's great. Okay, thank you. Yeah. Well, let's start talking about some more in-depth picks. Doug, what is your book? Oh, and just so everyone knows, we're in the process of not in the process. We destructured this section, so we're crazy.
We've gone mad.
Basically, now what we're going to do is we're going to try and talk about all our books. We're going to highlight 2 picks, or gotta talk about this. Can we still gotta talk about this?
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
Why not? We're
going to gotta talk about 2 books. One for me, one for Doug.
That sentence doesn't make sense.
It doesn't at all. Makes dollars. And then the rest of the books we'll probably do like a 1-point discussion, like sort of a answer to why are we keeping this book on our poll? Why are we keeping not on our poll necessarily, just why are we gonna keep reading it? Or not if we drop it. Who knows? But yeah, so Doug, what is your gotta talk about this book?
Sure. The book that I gotta talk about is Justice League Dark number 4. This is part 3 of The Witching Hour. The Witching Hour. So yeah, this is James Tynion IV, the regular writer on this series. He's written all of these Witching Hour issues that have kind of gone into some other books. Or I guess it just went into Wonder Woman, and then there's one-off one-shots kind of on either end. But we get the regular series artist back after getting a couple other artists in... Or I guess, did Alvaro Martinez do the first one as well?
I don't know. I guess I did notice that this one was like a really amazing art specifically, but I didn't notice.
I know it was definitely a different artist in the Wonder Woman one. I think it was Alvaro Martinez on the Justice League Dark Wonder Woman special one.
Yeah.
Anyways,
in any case, the art in this is bueno.
Yes, it is. Yeah, Alvaro Martinez Bueno, as he is credited in here, is indeed bueno. I'm really glad to have him back because, this art is fantastic. I really liked, again, they worked together a lot on James Tynion's Detective Comics, and I really liked him there. I think this is showing a whole other side of him, like drawing all this crazy, trippy magic stuff. He's really good at that.
Yeah.
Specifically, this fucking page where all these dead men,
Oh my god.
these monks, fly into what is this lady's name?
Uh,
I don't know. This sorceress character who's been kind of co-opted by the evil god Hecate.
Hecate.
Manitou Dawn. How do you say that word?
I would say Manitou Dawn.
Manitou?
Because there's Manitou Springs in Colorado. It's a
Sure,
city.
okay. Manitou Dawn. But yeah, these dead men characters who are kind of like a play on Dead Man. I think
Well, they're just monks that are able to leave their body, it seems like.
But I think they are specifically, I think Dead Man is tied into Nanda Parbat.
Oh, okay.
So, which is the city that they are from. So I think that is somehow tied into his actual powers. I'm not super well versed in Nanda Parbat, but which is a fun. I just like saying Nanda Parbat.
That was probably one of my favorite parts of 52, just learning about this city and like saying it. But like you were saying about the magic stuff with Bueno, like even like the art in Nanda Parbat, like the building, he just makes it look so beautiful and just so like terrible that it's just being destroyed and everything. It just feels so amazingly intense, like this entire time. And it's just a huge action sequence, which can sometimes just be like, okay, nothing is happening in this story. It's just a big action sequence. But shit felt like it was happening all the fucking time. Like,
yeah, I think James Tynion is really good at like giving you really interesting uses of characters' powers and like character beats in fights and kind of interesting combinations of characters interacting and working with each other in action sequences. Like I think he writes a really good ensemble action sequence.
One of my favorite moments of this is so it's kind of in the middle when Detective Chimp is making a little quip about, everyone's doing all this magic stuff. I'm a smart ape with some cutlery. And then it's at the end of a like page turn or whatever. And Zatanna's like, hey, be grateful for that sword. And then Detective Chimp's like, oh, the sword, huh? And then you turn the fucking page and you see why the sword is something to be focused on. It's this huge double page splash of Detective Chimp cutting through basically the page because he can cut through reality, I guess, and make portals with it.
Yep.
And I just thought that like moments like those, like beats like those, just make it just like, oh, like it pays off that little moment that's set up from the page right before. It's one of the best things about comics in general, that they can use the page turn as a sort of scene change. You know what I mean? Or a moment change. It's not even a scene change.
I mean, it's an important tool in the writer and artist's toolbox. Like that is something it's something that's really unique about comics in that, like, unlike a movie or whatever, a filmic medium or whatever, like, you can see, like, even versus a book, like, you can see all of the content of a scene on a page, where like, instead of being focused on a specific moment. And so you get it makes reveals, basically edits like that, where you turn a page, like, all the more impactful when it's a big change or a big reveal or something, because it, like, emphasizes that change between moments. And, like, I don't know, there's something about, I know, like, a lot of people read digitally, and that's cool, but there is something about, like, physically turning a page and, like, seeing the thing actually revealed, that is really cool.
Yeah.
But,
this is one of my favorite moments that did that, like, in comics, honestly. Like, turning this page and seeing this huge, I'm sure there are better ways that this has been done, but this just seems like such a great little thing, like, right in the middle of this book. Like,
I will say I was slightly disappointed that we just kind of wrote out Detective Chimp and Man-Bat really quickly in this sequence, but I'm hoping that, like, part of this series, I'm hoping that they don't just, like, relegate them to the sidelines a lot.
Yeah, but I feel like this specifically isn't their fight, you know?
Yeah, and that makes sense. It just, I don't know. I hope that Detective Chimp becomes a little more competent in, like, fighting magic shit as we go along. I think that's implied that that's kind of part of what his journey is going to be, like taking on the mantle of the Night Master or whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah, at the moment they're not really up for this, which makes sense. Fair. I just hope that they do kind of become up for that at some point in the later future.
The later future.
The later future, as opposed to the future that is sooner.
It makes sense. I can see that.
Uh-huh.
Okay, but Doug, so the other huge thing that happens here is that we talked about the parliamentaries. I haven't had a real introduction to parliamentaries that much, but I get the idea. I love all the Swamp Thing stuff, first of all, but we get this reveal that another person that is witch-marked, so to speak, is Alba Garcia, is her name? Black Orchid? And I don't know who that is.
Or did they? Oh, they did. Oh, they must have gotten a new Black Orchid. Well, anyways, yeah, Black Orchid is a character who was on an old iteration of Justice League Dark.
Oh.
So she is another kind of dark, mystical character in the DC universe. And yeah, she is a character who was in a very Swamp Thing kind of fashion, like science was turned into a plant-human hybrid, but in a way that's more like she wasn't turned into a plant like Swamp Thing, but she was turned like into half and half.
More poison ivy.
Sorta. But with a bit more, it's like Swamp Thing and Animal Man kind of mixed in that, like, Swamp Thing is the representative of the green, and I don't know that you've read much with Animal Man, but Animal Man is a representative of the red.
Oh, that's where the red comes from.
Yep, which is actually a fairly modern thing that they added to Animal Man, but that he is basically the kind of animal equivalent, not animal, but like
non-human animals.
Like organism. Anyways, it's like the animal equivalent of the green.
Okay, and
they are both kind of like forces of life. But the red is cool. So she's kind of halfway between them.
Okay, interesting.
Power's kind of based in both.
And so she's usually a good person.
Generally, I think.
Well, I guess she's usually for whatever the good thing for the Earth is. Just like Swamp Thing is, right?
Yeah, and she's been kind of taken advantage of by Hecate. She's been witch-marked.
Sorry, Hecate. It's definitely Hecate.
Is that how you say it?
I believe so. I believe it's definitely Hecate.
Okay.
Okay, whatever. But she's been witch-marked. She's gonna fuck the parliamentaries up, apparently. Which sucks.
Yeah, alright.
What?
Yeah. Okay, no, I'm just, Hecate. Sure.
Oh, you found it and I'm right?
Let me listen to a pronunciation. Hold on. Nope. Won't do it.
Okay.
Well,
that was fun. Good climax.
Yep.
Okay, so Doug, what else? I mean, by the way, can I talk about these covers? Because, I'd rather them give me just stencils of Greg Capullo's art on the cover instead of doing this shit.
This isn't Greg Capullo.
Yeah, it is. It's him doing stencils.
I don't think you have the normal cover.
I do. They're doing special covers for Halloween.
The regular cover is the foil one, like they've been doing on all the other major books.
Yes.
This is Riley Rossmo.
Okay, Riley Rossmo. Variant cover. Never mind. I thought the stencils were him. Never mind. I just don't like the foil stuff.
I think it's cool looking.
I don't know. I don't like gimmicks, like a cross company kind of thing. I'd rather them do something for a story. I don't like the idea that they want to have all their covers be this right now. I don't know. I just don't like that.
I think it's fun because it's kind of like a fun, set. I'm not gonna, go out and buy all of the covers so that I can have all the foil ones or whatever, which is, I'm sure, why they're doing it. But Like, I think it's cool, like, to be like, oh, what's the, like, it looks cool. I wonder what the Wonder Woman one is going to look like. And then you pick that up and, oh, it looks cool, you know? Like, it's, I don't know. Like, I just think it's a fun, I'm down for a dumb cover gimmick.
Okay.
As long as it's not like, I don't know. As long as it makes sense.
I mean, does it make sense? What does that mean, you know?
I just mean, like, as long as it's not like, here, we're doing Deadpool month, and every cover is Deadpool, you know, whatever.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, this definitely makes more sense than that, I guess.
I just mean, like, this is just, like, a fun visual gimmick that they're doing, as opposed to, like, sometimes, like, Marvel shit or whatever, or sometimes even DC shit will just, like, shoehorn a character into a variant cover or whatever. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's silly, but
I can feel that. I don't know. I really love it when covers are reminiscent of the themes done in the book. So I think that's what a cover should always be. But so when stuff like this happens, it's just, I don't know. So it's not like I hate it and I'm like, ugh, but I don't know. It's not what I would like. I'd rather have a cover for Justice League Dark that is different.
Sure. I am looking at this. Is it the one, the Capullo cover? Is it the one where it's the moon behind them and then...
Oh, no. I don't have the Capullo cover. I misread the thing in the credits.
Gotcha.
Because Greg Capullo's name is first under cover, so I was reading it as...
That's very confusing.
You know what I mean? Do you see that?
I do not, but sometimes they do that. They fucking... one of these books this week, or maybe it was last week, like, totally miscredited which artist did the book.
Oh, yeah. It was
on the cover.
Fuck, it was Venom.
Oh, yeah. Last week, because it was a different art. It was a guest artist.
It was Iban Coelho in the art, but they only had the regular Ryan Stegman's name on the front. Because he did the cover, but he didn't do anything else.
Yeah, but you don't... Like, you credit him in the book. You don't put his name on the cover.
Yeah.
Like, he didn't do the issue. I thought that seemed like a mistake.
Yeah, but it does. Because if he wants his name on the cover, he does that signature thing that they always do.
Yeah, and he gets credited in the book. Anyways, I'm looking at this Greg Capullo cover right now, and it is very good.
Yeah? Can you at least see why I would think that the Greg Capullo did the stencils for the front of Justice League Dark? I feel like it kind of looks like his stencils.
I'm familiar with Riley Rossmo's style, so I can spot it.
Okay.
So that's probably... Anyways.
Okay. Well, Doug, I wanna gotta talk about a little bit.
Sure.
That doesn't make any sense either.
You really want to just force that into sentences it doesn't belong in.
It's our brand, Doug.
Uh-huh. Gotta stay on brand.
Protect the brand. My gotta talk about this. The book I gotta talk about.
The book you gotta talk about.
is Cover number 2 by Brian Michael Bendis and David Mack. And one of the reasons, and I remember you asked me, you said that you were interested to know what I would think about this book, and I want to know why you were interested to know.
Before you give your thoughts?
Yes.
So, we were concerned about this book before it started, that this book was going to feel a little bit self-indulgent, a little bit of a self-insert kind of fantasy thing.
Yes.
That it's like, oh, what if I was a spy? You know, on the part of Brian Michael Bendis, by the way, the person who writes this book.
Yes.
And we read that first issue, and I think we were both pleasantly surprised by like, oh, this seems like it's just kind of telling a good, interesting spy story, and also just kind of leveraging some of like Bendis's kind of thoughts and feelings about the comic book industry in a way that doesn't feel kind of like it's him living out this weird spy fantasy.
Yeah.
This one started to feel a little bit more in that direction to me.
I totally feel that. Definitely. But I think, I like the writing. I think it's a good spy story still, but I think what really does this for me is how the art is used to convey thematic and emotional elements of the scene.
Yep.
Like nothing else, I think, that I've read, at least. Like, it just, there is so much variation in the art, and that variation speaks on so many levels to what is going on, I think. one of my favorite, like, you turn from the first page, from like the second page turn to the third page turn, and it goes from blue and dark hues to a change of scene to where they're in Istanbul, and it's full of color, and the woman that is trying to get him is full of color, and it always changes based off of what they're saying and what his emotions are. You turn the page again, and it's more of what the quote-unquote normal is, because he's not feeling as much, it seems, and they're just having a conversation about what's going to happen. It stays like that while they're in the car and everything, and then these inputs of these beautiful watercolored pieces of art that is like the representation of what the artist in the story is writing in his comic books is just I just love those sequences. They're amazing. And then just I mean, I can just go through this whole thing. I think one of my favorite, like, my panel of the week, if we were doing that still, which we can still talk about what our panel of the week would be.
We can talk about stuff that you really liked.
Would be like this full page splash of her just delving, like, bearing her soul basically to this guy, like, with her face in the purple. It's a full page of her face. It is still broken up into panels, so you read the bubbles, but it's just, it's her stream of consciousness about what the problem is with people in the world and everything. And it's kind of like, I feel like it's not her whole deal because she's a spy and she has to be holding something in still, but it feels like she's bearing her soul. And that's why it's like her face on the whole thing. This is what she's thinking. This is what's in her head. And it looks like that based off the watercolors and her head kind of becoming like less defined as it goes back. We see her full face, but the round of her head is not defined. Am I making sense?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it is. I really like this page. I mean, it's just like an opportunity for them to really showcase like a big painted image from David Mack. It's like, his watercolors are absolutely gorgeous. And I really, really appreciate, because I haven't read a book fully illustrated by David Mack before.
Yeah.
And so I went into it expecting like the whole thing to be painted. I think we talked about this when we read the first issue.
Yeah.
I was a little bit taken aback that the rest of the book is just kind of like it's kind of more of an indie style, but it's like, line work, more traditional kind of comics art.
Definitely.
Like, it's different, but it's a little bit more normal. But I really like, just like in the coloring, that restraint really makes that painted stuff pop in a way that like really emphasizes moments, and I think that's really smart of them to do.
Yeah.
There's probably also an economy of time thing going on there, but
yeah.
But like it's like, it really makes pages like that like really stand out and feel important. Yeah.
No, definitely. I think I'm going to be a sucker in my comics reading life for like art changing drastically in the middle of a book or issue. You know what I mean? Like by the same artist still. And using that as a way to drive themes and emotions of scenes and stuff like that. I think I'm going to be a sucker for that from now on, because it's just, I love it. I think it's great. And even if it is more so going in the direction of like the wish fulfillment thing, I can look past it because this is a book that's more for the art for me, I think, honestly.
Yeah, I'd probably say the same. I'm definitely going to keep reading it.
Yeah.
I'm like the spy story is interesting.
Yeah.
Like, it is kind of like it's nice and moody and kind of like contemplative in an interesting way, but contemplative. Anyways,
whatever.
But it does start to feel a little bit like they have this bit where like I'm not entirely sure who he's like referring to, but he's like this opening like sequence where he says, "Do you think you were the first Nazi hunters, magicians, the one who died having never been seen in public for almost 50 years.
Mm-hmm.
God rest his soul, right? This is being said by another comic book creator who is also a spy who is interrogating him, basically implying that there have been a number of comic book creators who have been spies, and that it's the perfect career to hide the fact that you're a spy or whatever, which is, I don't know.
Not buying it.
It seems a little forced.
I can see that
to
for
me.
sure.
I don't know. I don't hate the idea. I don't know, but I am curious who he's supposed to be referring to here. Nazi hunters could probably, that's probably someone very specific. But comics where people read comics overseas in World War II, you know?
Yeah.
And magician, probably maybe Alan Moore. I don't know. Not sure. Anyways,
I don't know. But, and then the last thing was just, I really want to pick up these, because at the back we have all these Superman watercolors, and they're just...
Oh, God, yes.
I've never wanted a variant cover so badly.
I know. They're so fucking good. I have this weird mental thing against variant covers, because I'm a weird completionist.
But God damn it, Doug, these are great.
But they're so fucking good. I also just really like that they're, as part of this book, in the back of every issue, they're highlighting his covers, basically. David Max.
As they should, because it's
absolutely beautiful. God, all of these, and then even this fucking one with the silhouette of him and his face inside of it.
Yeah.
So good.
Who is the silhouette?
God. The silhouette?
Yeah, is that
Superman?
Clark Kent? Okay. I guess it looks like a man in a trench coat to me.
No, it's just his cape.
Doesn't it kind of look like a man in a trench coat falling?
I guess. It's Superman in his cape.
Okay.
But
yeah, it's just I couldn't get over this. I flipped to the back for some reason. I don't know why I did that, but I saw this first and I was like, oh, creaming. God damn it. Sorry, can I not say creaming? Is that making you uncomfortable?
It's a little gross.
Okay, sorry.
It's cream. It's a very good set of covers back there.
Yeah. Makes me really excited to read Kingdom Come. It's on the list.
Yeah, I mean, it's not him.
I know it's not him, but it's that painted style with all these DC heroes. It makes me feel like that. Yeah. The reason I like this because it feels so strong with a painted style with these characters, and I don't know. That's about it. It just makes it feel so strong and stolid. You know?
Stolid.
Solid. I don't know.
Okay. Cool. Yeah. They're beautiful.
Yeah.
What else? What else we got that you want to get a word in on?
Words in. Okay. Well, I got Justice League in my pile now.
Sure.
Next to my pile. So, I love this art. It's great.
God, yeah. I'm so glad that, so you didn't read, No Justice.
No.
Which was kind of the lead-in, sort of, to this new series.
Oh.
But Francis Manapul did the art on... at least the first issue. I don't know if he did two of them, but absolutely gorgeous there. I'm so glad to see him back because it's just drop dead gorgeous. He does the art and the colors here.
Yeah, and this should be a perfect art arc for him to do too, because with all the water shit, it just looks. I think that's the best part about it, honestly.
I don't think he's doing every issue in this.
Oh,
but
not even just the core issues.
Yeah, because they got if they've got an ad for it in somewhere in here for the actual crossover, and they've got a bunch of artists.
Irving too.
Howard Porter, Fraser Irving, Lan Medina, Vicente Cifuentes. I don't know either of those last two guys, but
I hope the other artists are just on the tie-ins, but maybe he's just on this one.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
Because, I was thinking, honestly, I really like this, and I think it's fun, but the art is what really loves me. I loved about this issue. The story, I think is fine.
The story's interesting. I'm interested in, this, weird space sea story. like Aquaman, it's a space Aquaman story, which I think is kind of an interesting kind of left turn to take.
Yeah.
A story centered around that character, which is fun. And yeah, the script here, the plot is definitely serviceable.
Yeah. I don't know. We'll see where it goes. I'm excited to see where it goes and see, like, I hope Fraser Irving isn't on one of the tie-ins. I hope he's on one of the regular ones, because I love him too.
Also, just very quickly, I like that they are, like, this idea that the League is kind of a larger thing than just the core team, and that they're kind of off on these little teams that they've split up into,
like
and they're
with Firestorm, Adam Strange, and stuff.
Firestorm, Adam Strange. They've got. Is that everyone who's working with them in this bit?
Well, there's Jarro.
Jarro. Starro in a jar. Which they have to explain to you in a little caption, of course. But anyways, I think it's promising. I find it interesting just generally that they're like, sorry, we can move on in a second.
Yeah.
This seems to be ever since they did Milk Wars, which I could be wrong, but that feels like the first one where they kind of... And that one was a little bit different because each story was kind of a one-off in between. But that idea of the, like, mini-series where it's like, we've got a special at the end, or a special at the beginning, a special at the end, and they kind of are a thing. But then we've got, like, 2 or 3 issues in the middle that are between the various books that are crossing over.
Yeah.
And that's kind of the new format that they've been going with.
Mm-hmm.
For the actual, like, series. Like, we've got Justice League Aquaman Drowned Earth #1, then Justice League, and then Aquaman Justice League Drowned Earth #1.
Yeah.
Anyways.
But yeah, so we'll see how that goes. I hope the writing, Samantha said that if the next one isn't that great, like, she's not into this story whatsoever, so she says, I'll just tell me what happens at the end.
Yeah.
I mean, I can understand it.
I go back and forth on how I feel about Scott Snyder's Justice League. I really think he needs to scale back.
Yeah.
Like, I think he's better on smaller stories.
Okay. Yeah. So the next one I got here is MCM Alexis V.
Yep.
Okay, so loved the first issue of this. And we got a lot more history about it here. I'm still loving the art, loving the action sequences. I think I really like the history that we have because I don't know. I don't know if this is, like, more normal compared to other comics about this kind of a thing where, like, they were a warrior and trained and enslaved or whatever, and now they're going against them.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Is that a thing that's, you think, tried in comics?
It's maybe a bit tropey, but, like, I don't think that it's, like, I didn't find that cringy or, like, overused or something.
Yeah. And I still so like how the art's done in this, too.
Oh,
it's just so vibrant, and the fights and the characters are just, like...
The visual storytelling in this book is definitely the main draw.
Yeah.
But I do think that, like, yeah, the genre stuff that they're playing in here and the time period dialogue and stuff is also very fun. If a bit more kind of, I don't know, typical.
Yeah.
But
okay.
But yeah, art is still fucking fantastic.
Yes.
Great action sequences. And
just remember, this is an Image series by Joe Casey, who Joe Casey was another one that was writing something that I was interested in. I forgot what it was. Have you read anything else by that guy?
Not that I remember.
Okay. Well, what can you do? I also have Cemetery Beach right here.
Yep.
And I wanted to talk about it because, like, I still like the whole idea a lot. And you were telling me how Warren Ellis doesn't usually work on an issue-by-issue basis for his storytelling. And I could really tell that by this issue, I thought. I think just lots of setup, but I really enjoy the art still in this. And my other favorite panel of the week was this page where they're, like, going underground in these tunnels and shit. Do you know what I'm talking about?
I can find it, but
there's it's like they're falling down into a tunnel, and then there's a bunch of
there's some
close-ups of their faces, and it corresponds with, like, where they are on that page. And I think that's really, really fucking cool.
Yeah, that page is really cool.
But yeah, and then I guess they eat alien jizz. But yeah, it's called Seep. You see that?
I don't think it's jizz. It's just like a weird, they're like milking this weird root that grows underground or something.
It's like alien planet jizz.
Sure, I guess, if you want it to be that.
That's going to be the name of the episode, right?
I'm a little bit I don't really know what to make of this book.
Okay,
I feel like there's not a huge hook yet. Like, the world is really interesting, but they're not. I feel like we're getting to the point where they're going to be doing a ton with the, like, world stuff here. Like, there's some stuff gesturing at that kind of stuff about her being, like, a clone, and all that, that's used for, like, my favorite part was where she was like, basically she's a class of people who, like, if they die, their organs are used to, like, heal the upper class.
Yeah.
And so when she fights, she has to kill her opponents, because if she doesn't kill them, people from her class will be like, their organs will be harvested to heal them. And that's the most Warren Ellis fucking thing that's been in this book so far, and I want more of that shit.
It's one of the coolest. But it's like, it flips that entire, like, do I kill? Is that better? Or do I not kill? Is that, you know what I mean? Vigilante justice kind of thing on its head completely. Yeah. And like, he's really good about like intermingling like character stuff and world stuff like that in really interesting ways. And that's really been one of the few hints of kind of his normal kind of deal in this book. And then otherwise it's just a one big long action sequence in a way that I don't know that I can really get a handle on, like, what the actual, like, thing I'm supposed to be grabbing onto here is yet. And I hope they do more with that stuff. Yeah. But I do like the structure of, like, they give that map of, like, where they're going. So I kind of like having that sort of, like, idea of what they're going to and everything like that based off of what they're seeing. I think they represent the setting of where they are very well. You know? Yeah. Yeah. But like, it's, you know, I'm gonna get the next one because I'm interested to see where it goes. But, this issue wasn't too special. Yeah. Anyways, speaking of special different issues, Black Hammer, Age of Doom. Different artist. Yeah, this was Rich Tommaso on art, regular writer Jeff Lemire. Yes. I read Rich Tommaso in, I read Spy Seal, a little bit of it. I didn't like it, but I read that. Yeah, I've seen bits of Rich Tommaso's stuff. He usually writes and draws his stuff, and it doesn't seem like my thing. I don't dislike the art. There's something kind of, like, calmingly simple about it. Yeah. But also, I don't know if it's a great fit for this book. Also, it appears from the next on sale, the, like, next issue promo at the end of this issue, that we're, like, in, I don't know how many issues this is going to go on for. I'm hoping only 2, that we're still in this little kind of this little arc. Yeah. With Tommaso in the next issue. This Colonel Weird in this weird nowhere dimension. I mean, I like it, though. I don't know. I really enjoy how the art works with what they're doing, and, like, how it sort of changes all the time and how they visualize that. I like the disappearing buildings and the reappearing, like, destruction and everything like that. I don't know. Yeah, I think I like everything around Colonel Weird. I don't like how he draws Colonel Weird for some reason. He's not weird enough? No, it's like, there's something about how he's drawing the shading on his face that really irks me, because it's the exact same in every panel regardless of lighting, and it looks wrong. I can see what you're saying. It kind of looks like he's drawing, you know, have you ever seen Yellow Submarine, the Beatles animated movie? I have not. Okay. It looks like those faces to me. But, and it looks like that every single place, and he doesn't change. So I can
it looks like the shadowing is like painted on his face in every panel in a way that's just like, I don't know. It doesn't look like shading either to me. It just looks like he's painted. I don't know. It's strange.
Interesting. I have one question about this book, though. And it's at the beginning, before all the shit, all that happens. Yep. When they're going through the portal, can you tell me if this has any semblance on the story, or if this is just a weird, like, kind of mistake? Last page before this big white complete page.
Yep. That also very much confused me.
You saw this? How Madame Dragonfly and the Abraham Slam change positions?
Yep. But also other people kind of shift around.
Not a lot.
Not a ton, but like, yeah, in a way that I don't think that's supposed to be anything. I think it's just that he's talking to Abraham Slam now, but the way in which it's framed is very confusing because it's the two of them it's him, Colonel Weird and Madame Dragonfly talking close to the camera with all the other characters kind of in the background talking. And then we get a different panel of them going through the portal, and then a panel of Colonel Weird and Abraham Slam in the exact same positions talking in the foreground with everyone in the background. It's very strange.
Like, is that just a time thing, you think? Like,
I don't think it's anything.
But
I don't think it represents anything. I think it's just they're talking now.
That's annoying.
I think that, yeah, it really kind of bothers me. It could be something. It could be purposeful. It subtly changed or whatever. But I don't think that's what this is. It doesn't feel like that to me. It's too subtle, and in a way that's like not specific enough.
Yeah. Whatever. Okay, those were my thoughts on that. And then the last one was Gideon Falls. Like, it just remains to be great. Like, all this panel structure and art and everything, and the story like is interesting. Yep. It looks like I think we're gonna probably focus on a little bit of Mr. Norman, this arc in general, which I'm excited for because we didn't get a lot from him. I don't think a lot of background on him, at least.
No, yeah, at least not much backstory for sure.
Yeah.
Is that his name, Norman?
Norman, right? Norman Sinclair.
Norton.
I'm sorry. Norton Sinclair.
Yeah, and I really like everything about this book.
Yeah. It's just remains to be great, and I'm interested to see what's going to happen with him and his background. Like, I guess he's a weird child of the barn?
Yeah, or something. Yeah, like, and then they kind of take him back at the end, which confused me a little bit. I mean, we'll come to understand more, I assume, but like, he was going to build the barn. Like, why did they have to kidnap him to become the doorway or whatever?
Maybe this obsession with building the doorway and building the barn comes from like some weird thing that he's blocking, that he's supposed to be the doorway, but he's trying to find stuff to replace him so he doesn't have to be.
Maybe, or maybe building the barn is actually a good thing and they don't want the barn to come back. Like, maybe, I don't know.
Possibly.
Maybe the barn needs to be built so that the evil can be banished back into it. I'm not sure. I can
see that. And also, I think it really makes sense that, obviously, Dr. Chu was hired, or at least referred to by this doctor, and they know each other. So I think the idea is that this evil doctor guy made it so that, like, told Dr. Chu about this and tried to put Norton in a situation where, you know, he would come to realize that he's crazy about this. You know what I mean? Because originally Dr. Chu was like, being like, bro, chill out. You're psychotic.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I don't know. But yeah, continues to be great. And Doug, before we leave here today, I have a couple questions for you.
Sure.
Do you know anything about Dr. Fate and the Sands of Time? On the podcast I listened to, they made some passing joke about how everything is gonna be, at some point in the DC universe, gonna dissolve into the Sands of Time.
I don't know what that means.
Okay. maybe we have to read Sandman, which I got the first volume of, so I'm really excited.
Is that a Sandman thing?
I have no idea. I got the idea that was a Dr. Fate thing. So I don't know. If anyone knows that listens, please tell us.
Sure.
Also, did you think about this question?
Oh shit, I didn't.
Oh, you bastard. Okay, next week on the show, we're going to ask Doug, and I want everyone else that listens, if you do listen, who knows, I want everyone else to think about, like, what artist, like a specific artist, would you want to see draw a specific setting in DC? Because I was reading Justice League Dark and I was thinking, God damn, this is amazing.
Yeah.
And I just feel like DC has so many different settings since they don't really try and ground it in real world cities like Marvel does. They're specifically, like, primed to, like, have an artist go fucking crazy and just chew that scenery in an artistic way. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, yeah, I want you to think about that, Doug, and I want to talk about it next week.
Sure.
Yeah. And my last
Nanda
thing...
Parbat. I just like saying Nanda Parbat. I want everyone to draw Nanda Parbat so that I can say Nanda Parbat more.
Rich Tommaso should draw Nanda Parbat. Okay. But also, okay, my last thing. I read Pax Americana, which is Multiversity number 4.
Yep.
Which is the issue in Multiversity where it's a universe of the multiverse that is reminiscent of Watchmen.
Yep.
Reminiscent.
It is kind of Alan Moore's kind of commentary on Watchmen.
Grant Morrison's commentary.
Oh, did I say Alan Moore? Yeah,
yes.
Grant Morrison. Yes.
So I'm going to read this issue again over and over. Do you remember, like, what do you remember about this issue? Like, what can you tell me about what you parsed from this?
The president is assassinated and they're trying to figure out who did it, right?
It's a little, yes, kind of, not really.
Well, okay.
It's totally precisely in reverse.
Yes.
Like,
yes.
Crazily, like Memento style.
Yeah, it's more, the events leading up to it then?
Yeah, so I think what it's supposed to do, I think it's supposed to be a comment about, like, if you have a character like Dr. Manhattan, that what happens in Watchmen doesn't make any sense, I think is what he's kind of trying to say.
He's saying a lot of things.
He's saying a lot of things.
He's saying a lot of things, not all of them immediately apparent, but there's a lot of stuff about deconstructionism in there. There's a specific sequence with a line where the Dr. Manhattan analog, it's like he basically rips apart a dog psychically. Yeah. He's studying it and he pulls all the parts apart and he's like, oh, it's not quite as fun when you take all the parts or when you disassemble it all or whatever. I don't know. I'm totally paraphrasing. But there's stuff about kind of like
oh, here we go. I'm sorry. About what you were just saying, there is a part, like, this Dr. Manhattan analog says, I thought I could locate the source of the feeling, Doctor. Then I realized, what have I done? I just killed Butch, my faithful little dog. Like, it's sort of like, by deconstructing these comics and trying to get down to the heart of, like, what they do, you kill them, what you love.
Yeah, it's in deconstructing the characters in, like, being like, but really, how would these characters be in real life? And isn't that pretty fucked up? You know, like, it kind of poisoned the well for comics in Grant Morrison's view. Yeah. Honestly, it's it's been a while since I read it, and I would recommend looking up. I think Strip Panel Naked did a good episode on Pax Americana.
Oh,
and its use of panel structure, that's really good. But yeah, it can be a little hard to parse, but it's definitely saying a lot of things.
Yes, definitely.
Like, I don't entirely remember what all of them are, to be honest. But I remember it being very interesting.
It's really, really interesting. And I just also wanted to ask, so this came out in 2015?
Yep.
Is this pre or post Rebirth?
It was pre-Rebirth. It was post-New 52.
Well, yeah, New 52 was like 2011, wasn't it?
Yeah. But it was in the works for a long time before that.
Yeah. Well, he said he was thinking about it even like when he was writing Seven Soldiers.
Yeah. So yeah, it's not necessarily really like heavily anchored in any kind of continuity.
Yeah.
At all. But it technically takes place in the current post Flashpoint continuity.
Honestly, a lot of it is a comments on kind of like a lot of it is a follow up. Okay, Final Crisis by Grant Morrison. A big part of it is the comments on how a multiverse in general would really work, or not really would really work, but like what a multiverse means.
Mm-hmm.
And this kind of is a direct follow up to that theme in a way. It's just in a completely different style than Final Crisis is, you know?
Yeah.
My favorite issue of this multiversity thing, though, so far has been the one right before Pax Americana, which is about all these young superheroes that are like a lot of children of the old superheroes. Yep. And Superman, apparently, like the real Superman, built robots that now solve crime. So all these young superheroes that were passionate about being superheroes as kids, because they saw their parents doing it, don't have anything to do.
Yeah, they're just like weird pop culture figures, basically.
It's so great. And they introduce
really good.
They're like social media stars and stuff. You have Alexis Luthor, and you have Sister Miracle.
Mm-hmm.
It's great. Good. So that's my favorite issues thus far. But yeah, I'm going to read Pax Americana again.
Yeah, it's very dense. But my favorite, have you gotten to Ultra Comics yet?
I don't know what that means. I know Ultra Comics is the issue that every single universe is talking about that is like the haunted comic book.
Then you haven't read it yet then. It's a specific issue. It takes place in Ultra Comics.
Okay. Is it like the issue that they're talking about the entire time?
It is. They've probably shown the cover multiple times.
They've shown the cover, and they've shown like I've been noticing like the pages and like what's happening. I'm like, okay, this is gonna be an actual issue, isn't it?
You read the issue of Ultra Comics.
It's
very good.
I'm so excited.
It's very good.
I love this. This is such a fucking cool series. Like,
that issue. Yeah. Remember how I pointed out the weird bit about like flipping to the end in the first issue,
yes,
and like you causing the apocalypse or whatever.
Yes.
It's like a whole issue just playing with that kind of shit.
Okay.
Like,
and should I
that weird like metatextual like you the reader being like a part of the story.
Okay.
It's great.
Okay, so are there weird things then that I should really be on my toes for that last issue?
I don't remember if there's anything. I don't, off the top of my head. The only one from that whole series I remember is that one from the first issue.
Yeah.
Because it was such a surprise to me.
Yeah.
I don't recall if there's anything to do with that, but I would say, keep your mind open to it.
Okay.
Because there's a good chance, I'd say, but I don't know for sure.
Okay,
it might not be.
Very cool. Well, those are all my miscellaneous.
Cool. I in my side comics journey have been just chowing down on some Hellboy.
Nice.
I bought both the first two omnibus editions of Hellboy that they put out. So it's volume 1 and volume 2. I'm on the second story in the second volume right now, but they're big old books.
Are they great?
And they are so good. I love them. I just got a real hankering for something kind of like Halloween-y, monster-y.
Yeah.
And Hellboy is just like the best mix of like it's horror-y and creepy, but it's like an adventure story.
And like noir kind of, right?
Yeah, there's a lot of different genres kind of thrown together in Hellboy, and it's just kind of its own unique thing, and I absolutely love it. It's really great.
Nice.
And Mike Mignola's art is just fantastic.
So he writes and draws?
He generally, yes, he writes and draws Hellboy. There are bits, like the first story, he doesn't script. He does the story, but he doesn't write the dialogue in the very first one.
Okay.
John Byrne does that. but everything after that, at least in this first volume, he writes and draws. And then I think there's a story or two in the second volume that other people do the art on. But generally, if it's a core Hellboy thing, he writes and draws it.
Cool. That sounds awesome. I love it. And can you tell me, when is that Hellboy movie supposed to come out with that actor from Stranger Things? That's soon?
I'll look it up. I think it's next year.
Oh, next year?
Sometime.
Jesus.
I mean, yeah, it's April.
Okay, that's not terrible.
No. I'm very excited. I don't know that I have high hopes because I think it's a pretty high bar to the Del Toro version.
But they can do different things, I think. If they delve, didn't they say they're going to do more horror focus?
Yeah, they're leaning a bit more into the horror side of Hellboy, which I think is an interesting way to set them apart from the previous version, which is a lot more kind of action adventure.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. And it's cool because those are kind of the two sides of Hellboy that each one's kind of vibing a little bit more with one or the other side.
Yeah.
The two versions we've gotten. But that's cool.
Very cool. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I think that's gonna about do it for this week. If you're here with us, thank you for listening. We really appreciate it. It's awesome. We're new still. We're somewhat new still. We're almost at a year though. Which is pretty cool.
Yeah, we're pretty close.
But the absolute biggest thing you can do for us if you like the show is give us a review, a star rating on iTunes. And if you enjoyed what you heard, let someone know about us with your mouth or with your mouse. We release episodes weekly on Sundays, so be sure to check back next week, or you can subscribe and not have to think about it.
All right. You can do that on pretty much any podcast app you can think of, including Spotify now. Whichever podcast app you prefer, we've got you covered. Meantime, what?
I said E.
In the meantime, before the next episode, you can find us on social media, Twitter and Facebook, at Comics Covered. You can find web archives of all our episodes at comicscovered.libsyn.com. That's LIBSYN. And on our YouTube channel. So check that out. If you want to get a hold of us with a question or feedback, send us a message on social media, and maybe we'll get back to you. Thanks again for listening. I'm Doug.
And I'm Jack. And this has been Comics Covered.
Thanks.
Bye-bye.